So this is the mounting plate for the Nixie tubes and the decoders and the latches. So right now I will be joining the latches to the Nixie tubes. So, here's one of the Nixie tubes. I'm gonna mount it onto the plate with some M3 screws. And these are just temporary. And I can use them to hold everything in place while I do the soldering. Just hand tight. So we got our Nixie tube fixed. I use these crimps for crimping onto multi-core wire, and I insert these in these tiny holes, and they are to make a connection between these circuitry and some other circuitry. So I install them next. Then I install the transparent latch, again with M3 nuts and bolts. So this is what we got now. We'll be making the connections across from the latch to the decoder for BCD to decimal, and we'll be connecting them also down for the other circuitry. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. There we go. I hope that's better. So for joining the stuff, I will be using 1 millimeter square copper wire. This is just mains wire, which I stripped. 1 mil square is used for the lighting circuits in Europe, so it's a nice thickness. It's not too thick, not too thin. So I try to straighten it out a little bit, and then let's get bending. I use these pliers to bend, and I know some widths that I can use again and again. So I get it flush on this side and give it a bend 90 degrees. That's about the correct height that I want the connection to be offset from the relays. So that's that. For the next bend, I try to aim the wire. We have to go from this pin to this side of the diode. So I aim approximately where I want the copper wire to be soldered, and then look from the top and put a little mark. And then you try to bend. There's my little mark. So I try to bend the wire in such way that the rest of the wire will aim down just where the mark is. So you can try that. You have to get a little bit of a feel for it, but this one I can actually bend outwards a bit, a little bit too tight. There you go, that should be our first piece. And again, I know the length. This relay is a little bit lower than that one, so I just have to cut it a tiny little bit longer, and we should be fine. Straighten it out a little bit. Well, it looks good. Of course, I forgot to put on the soldering iron. So that one can go right there. Okay, so the soldering iron is up to temperature. So I just start with pre-tinning the short end and pre-tinning the little relay leg where it needs to go. Should be fine. So here we go. This is where it needs to go. Well, got a little bit hot, but I'm okay. Have a look. There's a little bit of a bend and solder the other side. There we go. It's nicely joined, so let's do the next ones. Oh, that's much too wide. So we start over again. Well, that's a cross. Now we have to join each one of these with the connections down there. So just bits of straight. Yeah, pretend buttons. Pretend these guys. Right. Let's put it in place. Stick one up. That's the top. And I slide the little crimps down to a certain height and use this nut to turn the knife. So press the crimp down, slide. And then I solder them at the bottom. There we go. So the next one. Again, we check the height. And do the last one, last two. Out the right hand. I've lost the tweezers which I've just used. No, they're not on the floor. Didn't hear them drop. Where the hell did I put them? Oh, there they are. Right height. There's the final solder joint for this bit. There we go. That's one module finished. Now I gotta do 3 more. Alright, so we've advanced quite a bit. I showed you how to make one module, the connections. So I've done it with all 4. I've mounted them to the backboard. I've also used a little bit of wood stain on the backboard to give it a nicer color. And I've also mounted the 2 latch relays. And I've already connected them up to the latch lines. What I've also done is I've created some lines behind the whole thing. I can give you that a quick look. So I've mounted these extra bits of wood. They've got some holes drilled into them, and I can use them to run extra connections in between the modules. Like this one, for example, is the cathode of the Nixie tubes. You can see them going down. And coming up across to the cathode, this is the anode for the Nixie tubes. And they have little current limiting resistors. And I've started connecting the 2 latch relays together. So I'll give you a quick look how I do the next one. There we go. As you can see, I've inserted again 2 crimps in the holes. I've got my little copper wire cut to length. So I'll just push one of these crimps in and get this one done. There we go. Can solder this one. And I can push it through to the other side, get it into this crimp. Get the crimp in the right place. Oh, this one has to go a little bit further. There you go. And solder this one. Lovely. So I've got the next 2 lines ready. I've already pre-bent the bits I need for this one. So we can do that as well. So yeah, these 2 bits connect the second latch to the third latch. So I just, pre-tin this side. There we go, the resistor is already pre-tinned. Then I just have to stick it in and solder that one. Goes into the little crimp. There we go. Solder. Again, pre-tin the other side. Stick it in the crimp at the bottom. There we go, leave it here. It has to be connected to this one, so we can quickly pre-tin it. Get it into place. Oops. And I can just flip it over. So it's these two which I've added, and I can solder them onto the crimp, and then it's another line complete. So this one's actually the negative for the relays, so I'll just have to do that. And then, yeah, my lines at the bottom will be done. And then I'll get started on the bus system to connect all the inputs for the latches.